Hello, very good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today Friday, 7th of October 2016. This is Edward with the highlights of today's English newspapers. As usual, we have three newspapers for the highlights: Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline says, ETCA to be signed by the end of this year. India and Sri Lanka will sign the Economic and Technology Cooperation Agreement by the end of this year, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday as both countries looked to strengthen ties further. BIA closure. Airlines reschedule, curtail flights. We have rescheduled our flights and the revised flight times are on our website. We will curtail our flights to 19 with some of the flights being operated at night. Emirates and AirAsia were not prepared to comment just yet on the basis that discussions were continuing. While some airlines have rescheduled flights from the Bandaranaike International Airport during the first quarter of 2017, other airlines have taken measures to reduce the number of flights temporarily. In line with House of Commons, new post created in Parliament. A new post called the Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister has been created in keeping with the tradition of the House of Commons for Government MP Jayampathy Wickremaratne. It is learned Muslims will be protected. Former President and Kurunegala District Parliamentarian Mahinda Rajapaksa, who initiated engagements with the leaders of the Muslim community after the defeat at the presidential election last year, said Muslims would be protected and given all their rights. Several ministers' officials did not pay for hiring helicopters. 9 ministers and other officials who had hired helicopters for official work have allegedly not paid the due payments to the Air Force, Parliament was informed yesterday. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. Relief for over 453,000 drought affected. Over 18 million rupees to provide drinking water in 16 districts. Talks on more Indian investment opportunities. The obstacles and obstructions from investors and countries encountered in the past when investing in Sri Lanka have seen a dramatic decline in recent times, observed India's Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan when he held discussions with Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Taj Palace Hotel in New Delhi on October 5. Appeal over Tangol murder case fixed for support. The Court of Appeal yesterday fixed for support on October 13 the appeal filed by the Attorney General against the sentences imposed on the convicts of British aid worker Khurram Sheikh's murder were not sufficient. This case is to be taken up before a bench not comprising Justice Rohini Velgama as she declined to sit on the bench. Basil had secret deals with the UNP, alleges Dilan. Basil Rajapaksa had secret deals with the UNP, said SLFP spokesman and State Minister Dilan Pereira, adding that Rajapaksa wanted to split the SLFP. Addressing the media at the SLFP headquarters yesterday, Pereira pointed out that Rajapaksa, who returned to the country and attempted to divide the SLFP ahead of the last parliamentary election, failed. Pereira said Rajapaksa is now making another attempt to split the SLFP by talking about the formation of a new political party. Finally, let's move to Ceylon Today. Unpaid Sri Lanka Air Force flights by 10 top politicos. Former President Chandrika Kumaratunga and 9 other ministers had availed themselves of unpaid air travel by helicopters and planes from the Sri Lanka Air Force from 10 January 2015 to 30 April 2016. This has been stated by State Minister for Defence Ruwan Vijayawardene in Parliament yesterday. According to the State Minister's statement, others named as having utilised state agency air travel without payment are Dr. Rajitha Senaratne, Faisal Mustafa, John Amaratunga, Kayanda Karunatilaka, Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, Ravi Karunanayaka, Haran Fernando, Sagala Ratnayaka and Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca. He added that governors of the eastern and north central provinces had also used state air travel sans payment and that IGP Pujit Jayasundara has also obtained the same facility when he was a senior DIG. Poverty increases. 13 districts below poverty line, only 10 above. poverty in the country has increased. Data released by the Census and Statistics Department yesterday showed that 13 of the country's 25 districts were below the poverty line, only 10 were above poverty, while the other two districts, Trincomalee from the eastern province and the so-called rich Colombo district in the western province, stayed neutral, neither above or below the poverty line. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan newspaper highlights.